Good afternoon. As your friend and host, Todd the Borowitz, I'm privileged to share every Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. with you on the Todd the Borowitz Show, which is part of the Real Estate Radio Network here on Sound Broadcast, WRC 1260 AM. Right now with me is Harvey S. Jacobs. He's a real estate lawyer with Jacobs & Associates here in Rockville, Maryland. He's an active real estate investor, developer, landlord, settlement attorney, lender, and realtor. Hi, Harvey.
Hi, Todd. How are you?
How many more things can you add to this?
In my spare time, I practice law.
Okay. Well, I notice here that you started out, you went to George Washington University for School of Business, then you went to Brooklyn Law School, and now you coined the phrase, ask the house lawyer.
Correct.
And I found a nice recommendation for you online. It said, Harvey is an extraordinary and very personable attorney. He has a passion for real estate at every level. Now, I've known you for a while, and you are bleeding real estate all over. Can you tell me, how did you first get interested in real estate and into real estate law?
Yeah, actually, it's been a lifelong passion for me. My parents grew up on the New Jersey shore and rented cottages. And one summer, when I was about 10 years old, I saw a group of kids paying my uncle for the cottage for the summer. And they were handing him an enormous stack of dollar bills. And ever since then, I'd had an interest in real estate. That progressed. One of my other uncles was a builder, and I worked with him to clear his apartments and make them ready for new owners. Did that for a number of years for him over the summers. And then I opened up my own condominium cleaning business in Florida and had 500 clients and was around sort of the real estate business at that point. And it's just progressed ever since.
Now, was that before law school or after?
This was in high school.
In high school you did all this?
Yes.
And how did you get from New Jersey to Florida?
My dad retired, and we moved to Delray Beach, Florida, and that was a condo that now is 6,000 units. And so at the time, they were still building condominiums, and I was lucky enough to capitalize on all the people that were moving into their condos and wound up having this fairly lucrative cleaning business, which paid for my college education. I had 4 employees and about 500 customers.
That's awesome. Now, how did you get to Washington, D.C.? You got pulled into George Washington University, and you paid your own way?
Uncle Sam and I paid the way, yes, and my parents helped out, certainly. I always loved the Washington scene. It's my favorite part of the country. I went to George Washington University, got my degree in accounting, and then I went to Brooklyn Law School, and shortly after graduating law school, I made my first real estate investment.
Very nice. And then you went to Brooklyn Law School.
Mm-hmm. The law school was great. I studied general law. I always knew I wanted to do a business type of concentration in law, and my very first real estate investment was buying insider rights to a converting co-op. Back in the day, I won't say how long back, but you can figure that out. The co-ops were converting, apartment buildings were converting to co-op, and you were able to buy what are called insider rights. So I remember it vividly, I paid $20,000 as an insider for the privilege of buying the apartment for $25,000. And this was a small one-bedroom with a Manhattan view. I wish I had that apartment still.
Wow. Now, you're in New Jersey, you go to Florida, then you go to D.C., then you go up to Brooklyn.
Yep.
And now you're living in D.C.,
I've been in D.C. now for 27 years. I came back, love the area. For a real estate person, I'm actually still in the same house I bought 27 years ago. And in terms of practicing law, I do all sorts of real estate-related transactional work. I do real estate from A to Y. The only thing I don't do is zoning.
Okay. Well, I do understand that you have, in addition to practicing real estate law, you are a real estate investor yourself. Mm-hmm. Tell us more about that.
Yeah. After the first investment in New York, some of my other investments have been to purchase just rental condominiums. Some people shy away from condos. I feel that since I'm not a handy guy by any stretch, not so much into fixer-uppers, I would buy condominiums. So I bought a number of condominiums, kept them, rented them out, maintained them over the years. I've also been involved in some what they call legal flipping, which is buying houses and having them renovated by professionals, not me, and then selling or renting them. I've also been involved with buying tax sale foreclosures. I actually bought parking spaces in the District of Columbia. Believe it or not, it's a very good investment. With parking being at a premium in the District of Columbia, you can imagine how much a parking space sells for. So I did that for a number of years while practicing law continuously.
So you're taking your passion of real estate that you had as a child, went to law school, business school, you did all your own investing, and now you're helping your clients. Yeah,
I found that by having this firsthand experience and making the mistakes myself, as well as observing other clients making mistakes and preventing them from making mistakes, I can take all that experience to advise my clients how, practically speaking, not to make the mistakes that either I've made or my other clients have made. I think it gives them a real dose of legal expertise as well as practical advice.
You can't get any better experience than that. Well, by the way, if you're just tuning in, I have with me Harvey Jacobs with Jacobs & Associates. I am your host, Todd the Borowit, and you are listening to Salem Broadcast Network, WRC 1260 AM. Now, Harvey, what type of legal matters do you handle for your real estate clients?
Yeah, many of my clients are either individuals who are investing in real estate or are small business owners that have leasing needs or that are looking to buy a building to put their business in. The kind of work that I generally do and that I really enjoy doing are transactions. One of those weird lawyers, I'm more than happy to sit down and read a contract for an afternoon, make comments, negotiate it. I really enjoy making sure that my clients' risk is minimized and their return on investment is maximized.
So you help out a lot of people. Because you're my go-to person. Anytime I have a real estate question, you're my go-to guy.
I think that I've become almost the lawyer's lawyer. I'm one of these people that doesn't just say, I don't know. I actually pull the books off the shelf. I actually read the legislative enactments as they come out of the Maryland legislature or the D.C. City Council. I read the new case law when it comes out. And I tend to pride myself on, if I don't know, I will find out and get them the correct answer. And to me, that's value added.
You're a smart guy.
Thank you.
Now, let me ask you a question. The Washington Post, you have this, you coined the phrase, ask the House lawyer, and you got your emails even, something like that. How did you get involved with that? When does the article come out? I know I'm glued to it. Every time it comes in, I'm glued to it. I love the information you provide. It's very valid, and you share the resource. You're not just babbling off.
Well, I try not to.
Well, you don't. I
have a very good editor at the Washington Post. About 4 years ago, I got a call from a colleague who sent me a list and said, "Would you like to do a column?" I said, "I've been waiting 50 years for that," and I've been doing it every other Saturday for about 4 years now. It's called The House Lawyer, and it appears every other Saturday in the Washington Post.
That's great. How can people get that information from you for our listeners?
They can certainly contact me through this website and get on my subscription mailing list. It does appear in the Washington Post first, but after that, I'm able to email it out to them so they don't have to run out and get the paper. Or if they want to read it Friday night online, I can send them a link to the Washington Post and they can get it as it comes out.
Okay. And as far as your expertise with real estate and the law and for investors and just across broad spectrum, I would say, is there anything you can offer our listeners so they can get in touch with you? I know I can get in touch with you, but how can our listeners get in touch with you?
Well, they can certainly reach me at ask@thehouselawyer.com. That's my email, or through my firm's website, which is jacobs-associates.com.
Okay. And is there any giveaways you have? We always like that.
Yes, I'd be happy to let your listeners contact me for a 15-minute free consult to discuss perhaps what type of vehicle would be best for them to use to invest.
Because I have a lot of people. I mean, I remember I sent someone to you because they couldn't get their tenant out and they stopped paying, and I had them right over to you and you helped them out right away. But we're going to run out of time soon.
I try to avoid court. If I can avoid court, I will do so at all costs. But if somebody needs to have me go to court, I'm there for them.
Right, but you're easygoing. You pick up the phone, you have a casual conversation, you're there with them, and the billing doesn't start right away.
Correct. That's absolutely
perfect.
Correct.
Well, Harvey, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate having you here, and hopefully we'll have you back. We're going to be back right after these messages, and when we get back, we're going to be talking to Karen Alleghi with Allegie Anderson, and we're going to talk about power of attorneys for healthcare and also guardianship. It's going to be a great topic. I'm really looking forward to this one. We'll be right back after these messages.
You don't go through life with a paralyzing fear every time you have a financial transaction. So why is applying for a mortgage so scary? At Topaz Mortgage with Todd Laborwit, it is about educating and empowering you to get from point A to point B. Todd provides you with his exact closing cost, best interest rate, then invites you to shop around. Plus, if you call with questions, Todd picks up with the answers. Learn more at whytopaz.com. They are industry experts that care. Topaz Mortgage, NMLS 131548, licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission, MC 5344, Washington, D.C., MLB 131548, Maryland 18330, Todd Laborwit, NMLS 131497.